Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to whoever's in the world you are streaming here on Twitter, as well as YouTube. Sorry, I'm getting all my devices up for this season finale edition of live Q&A with Wa. We made it to the finish line, my friends. The season is officially turning over. Okay, I'm here with you all now. It will be the final episode of this particular season. Last week of June, we're going to take a little summer hiatus. We'll be back at the beginning of the next. I'll be back in October, put it that way. October and at least November. We'll come back with some shows then as the NBA kicks off again, but we are headed to the summer season. I'm going to be doing some traveling as well as I'll be in Vegas for Summer League, and the content mill slows down as we reach the summer solstice. So hopefully you guys all understand, but it will not be the series finale, just the season finale for a little bit, as we really won't have all that much to discuss, but we can do a couple, if there is galactic trade news at some point during the summer, which could be, at this point, it's just Giannis, right? That's all that's left if he ends up getting moved or not. That would be news that's worthy of doing an emergency stream. So we'll be back for something like that. But until then, that is the schedule moving forward. And I appreciate you all for the past, what is it now? We've been doing these since March, like 3 months and change. You've been coming in here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays around 3:15 p.m. local, going through all the topics in the world as well as anything that's on your mind. That was the whole purpose of this show. So we'll keep it going once the fall resumes. But like most other shows, there's a reason why upfronts, or I'm sorry, sweeps on television, those occur in the fall as well as like early spring, because people just are not consuming content as much during the summer due to travel. All right, let's hit the chat. Let me move my phone over here so I can see you guys. Good morning. Yes, good morning to you as well. Where are you where it's morning? Let me do the math on this. You must be in Japan. 8 hours behind the West Coast would make it 3, 5, 7. It's 8:21 in Japan right now. You must be in that time zone. Or Australia. Could be Australia as well. I better get used to it because I'm headed there in the somewhat near future. Quick side note, I've been waiting on a damn FedEx package all day, and they've been changing the time on me, and I have to sign for it. So I've been stuck here and a prisoner in my own apartment. So if there is a knock on my door during the stream, I am gonna have to run up and go grab it. So just be prepared for that. It was a fun season. This is kind of that's usually when I publish the season end video, the season recap video, that's kind of marks the end of the WOB fiscal calendar, but there's still the draft, there's still free agency and trades and Summer League. Like the schedule dropped today. Summer League's the first day is Bronny versus Cooper Flagg. Night 2 is Cooper Flagg versus Dylan Harper, I think. So first 2 days of Summer League usually popping off. The 76ers are sending like Jared McCain there in two. There'll be some good games to watch, and there's still some basketball to be played. No Olympics to look forward to this year. There's Eurobasket, which Jokic and like Serbia will be involved in. So there's still some basketball related competitions out there, but I will be taking the summer most certainly to enjoy the beautiful weather. That is for sure. It is, not going to lie, it was funny, very funny watching the rest of the United States cook 110 degrees. And I'm sitting here like, I need to kind of put on one of my hoodie pullovers. It was like 68 and sunny yesterday. And I'm like, just a slight crisp chill in the air. And it's just so perfect. Sorry to do that to you. But you guys on the East Coast got a reprieve this weekend. There's, I saw a nice couple days over there. The Chinese Joker, is that what they're calling that guy? So it's Yang Hansen? Yang Hansen? My names. I embarrassed myself on the Sirius XM show this week because we were trying to go through how to pronounce the name of the guy that the Brooklyn Nets drafted. First, we started with Igor because it's spelled quite literally Egor, not Igor. So I'm like, Igor. No, it's not Igor, it's Wygor. And no, it's not Wygor, it's Yegor. I'm like, damn. It's so difficult pronouncing names that you never heard before. This is why they called Giannis Antetokounmpo the alphabet before he was the Greek freak. Remember those days back in the mid 2010s? The alphabet was running around out there because no one could pronounce nor spell Antetokounmpo. 1 a.m. in Turkey, says Yusuf in the chat. What's going on from Turkey? Hot day today, I imagine so. That part of the world gets quite toasty this time of year. Thoughts on Portland's latest move? The only move I care about that the Portland Trailblazers made recently is Caleb Love getting signed. I'm glad he's going to have a chance. So Caleb Love and RJ Davis, two guys that get signed after the draft is over. And did you guys know that a lot of these players actually prefer, if they're not going to be drafted in the first round, they prefer to not be drafted in the second round? Because if you end up making it through pick 60, you can choose who you're going to sign with your camp invite. And it's your flexibility is you can pick your situation as opposed to being drafted in the second round by a team and you have to report to them, and there's no guarantee for a contract either. So like you get a training camp invite and that's it. So a lot of these players like, please don't draft me. Please don't draft me. Nice to see Caleb Love sign somewhere where I'm assuming he preferred to be in Portland for whatever reason. And he ended up there. RJ Davis will be in with the Lakers. Nice to see that backcourt still prolonging their careers, because Lord knows they sure accomplished something at UNC. They ended the war once and for all against Duke. How did that team with RJ Davis and Caleb Love beat up Paolo Banchero, Mark Williams? Who else was that? Who was the Keels? How many NBA players they had, and they lost in the Final Four to an 8-seeded, undersized UNC team. Shame. Such a shame. It's a stain that they will never be able to wipe away. It's like the 2016 finals of college. Like the Warriors could win 9 straight championships, but that's that one in 2016 that they blew that everyone will remember. We still need post-chase clarity. We do. We'll get it at some point. I think I'll be around tonight. It feels like a chase night, right? Nice weather. End of the month payday. Maybe we'll get one tonight. Yusuf says, I missed your trade talk about Durant in Houston, but for us, it's so good because Şengün will work good with professional Durant. I tend to agree. I think this is going to make Houston the true. They were number 2 last year, but they're probably the closest competitors to dethroning Oklahoma City's budding dynasty than anyone else out there. They solved their biggest need the same way that Hartenstein solved Oklahoma City's after the Dallas series. They have their crunch time score. They were able to renegotiate with Fred VanVleet, Jae'Sean Tate, Aaron Holiday, Jeff Green. They're going to put that same lineup together that finished second last year. Why not Houston? That is until San Antonio, who's kind of lurking in the shadows, makes that Giannis pitch because it feels like it's coming. Thoughts on Cooper's Mount Rushmore for NBA and WNBA? You're going to have to tell. I did not see what that was. I don't know what his Mount Rushmore is. I know he said his favorite player growing up to watch was Jason Tatum, which is like, are you kidding me? Hell, I thought I was old before. You told me Jason Tatum is seen as a vet by these Gen Z, Gen Alpha kids? Oh my God. How many kids today, if I said the word mellow, would know it's about Carmelo Anthony and not LaMelo Ball? Not many. Candle in the chat. Can you tell me we're going to be all right after firing Masai? Yeah, I mean, Masai is most well known for the big risk that he took taking on Kawhi Leonard for that rental season and winning a championship with the result of it. He got promoted. He got paid. He's a famous character in the NBA. There's 29 losers, guys, right? There's 29. Only one team can win a championship, and Masai was able to accomplish that. And he didn't get fired, by the way, because his creative vision for building this team was not shared by Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. That was not the reasoning. He got let go because he's making a shit ton of money, and the new ownership group is probably just not on the same, not willing to compensate him with that amount. Then they couldn't come to terms and said, you know what, we're going to move on and good luck. Thank you for everything. And if you're going to deem that type of salary, we just don't, with this new group that's in charge, we're not so inclined to pay that because for whatever reason, I think that's pretty on par with that job and everything else that happens on Earth. If you ever like start making a shit ton of money, you have to be worth it in not only the current regime's minds, but especially if there's overhaul in the front office or your superior. You could have the greatest working relationship in the world, and then somebody leaves, and then it's like, oh, this boss doesn't think of me the same way. Sometimes it's life, man. I don't know what to tell you. Mike says that was a pretty mild draft. No big fireworks. It was a very missionary type of draft. Like it was the missionary sex of draft. It was just very straightforward, no foreplay, methodical. How long is the OKC dynasty lasting? Well, we asked those same questions about the Celtics. Philly has Dallas, San Antonio, Charlotte, and Utah in the summer league. Do they purposely make the teams with the top picks face each other? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So you're going to have Ace Bailey. Those first couple days are going to be pretty stacked. You'll have Ace Bailey playing with Utah, so he's going to report soon. San Antonio with Dylan Harper. Maybe they get some of those young guys to play a couple of games. Dallas, obviously, with Cooper Flag. Yeah, that's going to be just a revolving door of, or round robin, if you will, of those teams seeing each other the first couple days. And then once the main draws get, they usually play until about Monday, and then they get sent home. Caleb Love is the reincarnation of J.R. Smith. Now you get the show. That is why I love him so much. When that man gets hot, oh my Lord, he is a blue flame of hot. Problem is, what's required to get to that blue flame sometimes could be very frustrating is the inconsistencies and inefficiencies in the box score. That's a lot of missed shots to just avalanche all of them at once. Thoughts on Ace Paley and maybe others trying to influence draft destination? That will be unsuccessful. You are not Eli Manning. He's going to play for Utah, whether he should want to play in Utah, by the way. You're going to get all the play time in the world. You don't want to be drafted by the Sixers or the Thunder. You'll never see the court. You'll be on a good team, and you'll play no part. Ask Topic. I know he was hurt, but like there's situations where lottery picks can't even get onto the floor with these really good teams. In Utah, the world is yours, and it's gorgeous. I understand it. The culture may not align with a lot of people's desires in other parts of the country. It has this reputation for some reason, but it's got to be one of the most beautiful places in the United States to live. And you have the opportunity to be the face of a franchise here as I mean, it's been a while since we've heard about Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, at least John Collins and Collins Sexton. Those are names that are going to potentially get traded. Oh, Cooper Flag's WNBA Mount Rushmore: Candace Parker, Brittany Griner, Asia Wilson, and Caitlin Clark. How do you not have Diana Taurasi on that list? Is Diana Taurasi not the best women's basketball? Where's Sue Bird? Are those two not the best women's basketball players of all time? I don't follow it enough to know, but it sure feels like Mount Rushmore. Asia Wilson's still active. Caitlin Clark is still active. You can be on Mount Rushmore and be active. Oh, what MLB bets? I've been cooking on MLB bets lately. For the last time this season, let us go to ProfitX and our partners to reveal the big board. Where am I at here? This team right here, your Tampa Bay Rays, by the way, will be winning the AL East, just so you guys know. Where else are we? Blue Jays like that plus 110. I have an over in where's the wind? Oh, that's on the road. God, any opportunity I get to fade the Dodgers, I kind of take it just because their number is always so juiced up, so juiced up. Like this makes no sense. Plus 152, but only minus 107 on plus 1.5. Kind of want to take that. Dodgers are in town. It's always those lines are just through the roof. Probably end up taking that. Royals plus 1.5 to answer your question. Thanks for asking. All right. What else you guys got? I wish we had some like NBA free agency props that we can explore on here, but I don't know if they're listing those just yet. I don't see them on the screen here. Probably the best summer league in a while, says Mike. A lot of talent. Yeah. Is this recency bias? Let's see. I'm thinking of Zion versus RJ was a big one. The Lonzo year. Yeah, the depth of the draft matters for that type of opinion. You need a lot of like the showcase that first Thursday where it's the primetime game is Cooper versus Bronny, and then it's Cooper versus number 2 pick. You need that number 2 and number 3 pick, and then Ace Bailey is going to probably play Cooper at some point too, I would imagine, without even looking at the schedule. Beyond the known, we have good basketball culture. Are you talking about Turkey? Our people look like it's a rich support, and still soccer is number 1. But this season, the Turkish team won the EuroLeague, and we gave too many players to NBA from our teams like Bogdanovic, Şengün, Zaza, or we get too many players like Larkin, Allen Iverson. Oh, you remember? Okay, so since you live in Turkey, you'll remember when Darren Williams? Darren Williams was who was he with over there? It wasn't, is it Galatasaray or what's the big club over there? He went over there during the lockout. He still has a banner in the rafters for coming over, and he played a couple of games before the NBA season started. Was treated like a king. King asks, Rob, I want to hear your thoughts on VJ Edgecombe and the Sixers overall. I don't know enough about VJ. I know people I trust said that he was going to be the consensus number 3 pick. So that means he's quite talented. I was interested to see that Philly held on to that pick. I thought they might want to trade out of it, trade down, because this is it for them. Like how weak this Eastern Conference is at the very top. You got the Cavs and the Knicks, the Pistons and the Magic, and the 76ers. After that, who else am I missing? Boston will be okay. Pacers are hurt. Bucks are a disaster. I might be missing someone else, but yeah, the East is for the taking. So you have to think that the Philadelphia 76ers have had off since March and April, that they will have 7 months of getting their bodies right, where they Paul George, Embiid, Maxey, McCain, like that's as prime as prime shape as they're going to be in at any point. Like this is it for the Sixers. If they don't make at least the conference finals, that is incredibly disappointing, considering how the juggernauts have all taken hits due to either the collective bargaining agreement or injury. 2017 was super sick. Was that the Lonzo year? Or was that like the Kuzma, Josh Hart year? Because that was a big one. The first LeBron year. Anthony asks, regarding the talent in Summer League, do you think most early picks from last year play? No. Like your Steph Castles and whatnot? No, the early picks from last year. Yeah, McCain's playing because he's probably at the end of his rehab process with his injury recovery. So this is going to align perfectly for him to get some competitive basketball in, I would think. But other than that, the top picks, I would not expect to see Steph Castle there. I haven't even looked at the rosters yet. Is he on it? Sometimes they put him on there too, and they don't even play. They just there to in case they want to get in for a couple minutes and get some burn. Early Wine is asking Rob, do you think the second apron penalties are good for the NBA product? It's good for parity around the league, but is it good for the NBA product as a whole? Well, if you don't have those penalties, you know what would have happened? The Golden State Warriors would have continued to be extremely top heavy when they had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, all those veteran minimums where they get bought out by their teams. And then they come to the Warriors for just $1 million. They keep stacking the deck. They're top heavy and they'll just revolving door all of those veterans and they'll keep winning championships. The second apron prevents you from doing that. So now your roster construction not only needs depth, it needs versatility, which means 15 guys that can not only seamlessly replace each other on the floor, guarding positions 1 through 5, pace and space, all of those things, but they need to be under contract with terms favorable to the franchise. And I was going through today one of the topics of conversation with former Phoenix Suns general manager Ryan McDonough. I was like, now that you brought it up, who would I rank is the cleanest books in the NBA? Who has the cleanest books? OKC is obvious number one. I was talking about Atlanta there for a second because they have some really clean books now. They do have to eventually pay Trey, but everyone who's got extensions, Jalen Johnson and Zachary Ricochet still on the rookie deal, and some of these guys, you're like, wow, they're letting go a lot of these Capella and Larry Nance and Karis LeVert off the books. Okongwu's on a team favorable deal. Who else? I'm like the Indiana Pacers, man. So Halliburton, despite being banged up, just 45 million. Pascal, 45 million. You go down to an Obi Toppin of the world or an Aaron Nesmith, they're only making like 11, 12 million dollars. And you're like, gosh, they figured it out. So the second apron does not make it impossible to be creating a optimal lineup. Presti was anticipating it for some time, got it done. Pacers did as well. Both teams operated under the tax too. So I'm not going to say that it's influenced the product because there are plenty of teams that have been able to maneuver around these restrictions and prove to you it is doable. And even if the small markets, they're usually a step behind because of the leverage of free agency and the access to financial resources from some of their valuations being a lot smaller than the big markets. But that has not been the case. I'm pretty pro this particular collective bargaining agreement, and some of the teams that suffered from it early, like the Denver Nuggets, and they had teams that were built to be optimized under the previous collective bargaining agreement more so than this one. So they lost some of their role players and took a step back, the way that Boston is stripping down for parts right now. But it's doable, and I do think it levels the playing field pretty significantly. So I'll say it's been a success thus far, and we'll see where it goes from there. Adrian says, only 11 months until we get fooled by the Clippers again. I will be the first in line. No one drinks Clippers Kool-Aid faster than Worldwide Wob. He has been burned many times by those Clippers. I was burned again this year. I didn't say they were going to win the championship, but I certainly had them beating the Nuggets. I bet on them. I lost a lot of money in that last game, and I'm like, when will I learn? When will I learn that them teasing me in the month of March, in the beginning of April, and it still says Clippers on the front of their jersey? It's like the same sentiments that I get for rooting for the New York Mets. Early Wine says, thank you, Rob. You have supported my argument against my old head father. He hates the second apron. Well, what's the counter argument? Or yeah, what's the counter to the rebuttal Is it someone who prefers dynasties? Is that the type of fan and personality that makes you think that way? Like, what's his reasoning for not liking the second apron? Because he's a Celtics fan or something, and the team is getting, of course, rules for thee, but not for me. That type of mentality is not going to like the second apron. I don't mean to incorporate politics, but it's much more of a, this is not, this collective bargaining agreement is not capitalism. It's more socialism than anything, right? Like capitalism is not rewarded and it's restricted significantly in this new CBA. Prediction for the first NBC doubleheader next season. So if they keep the same schedule, Tuesday is usually opening night in the NBA. Now I don't know if who gets the real opening night, but let's just say it's on NBC, which would be phenomenal. Opening night is going to be Pacers at Knicks. And who are we putting against OKC? Minnesota or the Lakers? It's going to be the Lakers. It's going to be Pacers, Knicks, Madison Square Garden, and it's going to be Lakers at OKC. That's your Tuesday opening night. Now, could we do Christmas Day guesses? Well, maybe it's not Pacers Knicks opening night without Halliburton. Actually, scratch that. Damn it. We gotta revise that. It's gonna be. Could it be Pistons Knicks? Would they go with the Pistons on opening night? Probably not. It's gotta be major markets. Okay. Opening night is gonna be. It's gonna be Sixers Knicks opening night, first game. And then it's gonna be Lakers Thunder second game. Yeah, that's it. That's my opening night. Christmas Day. Oh, you too, vegan Barbie. You drink the Kool-Aid. Are vegans allowed to drink Kool-Aid? Clippers winning it all this year, for real, though. You sound like me. I'm done. I can't do this. Oh, that's a good question. Is Topic going to be playing in Summer League? No, I haven't looked at any of the rosters yet. He could very well be on there for OKC. That would make a lot of sense. I was with him in Vegas during NBA Cup. He was working out at the time. He's definitely geared up and ready to go. It would not surprise me if he's involved. You know what? It's going to be Sixers Knicks or Pistons Knicks. Do the Pistons have enough juice for that rematch? It could be Pistons Knicks first game opening night. There's just so much star power in Philly, and they need the big rating right off the bat. Does Detroit have the ability to pull a big enough rating? That's the way TV business works. It's either going to be Pistons Knicks or Sixers Knicks, I would think. Okay, so now let's do Christmas Day. Knicks are always the first game. Who's going to be at New York? Is that where you get the Pacers involved? I don't know if they're going to be putting the Pacers without Halliburton out there. That injury really screws them. They're going to be scared about Boston as well. Can you put Boston out there when they're stripping down for parts, especially if they trade Jaylen Brown at some point? No, you can't have Boston out there. You could just, because it's a big number. It could be Celtics at Knicks, because the Celtics usually get a standalone game after the Knicks. So maybe that's the solution. Is there another, could it be Mavericks at Knicks? Could that be the Cooper Flag Garden game? Ooh. Okay, official prediction. Yeah, let's go with it. No, it's so tough because you have to line it up with. Let's just do it. Mavericks at Knicks. Mavericks at Knicks. First game Christmas Day. So there's 5 games, and the big one is the 4th game. Okay. Second game is going to be. God, you have to get the Celtics involved, don't you, to make this work? It's got to be an East because it's usually Sixers Celtics. I don't know if we can put the Magic on Christmas Day just yet. This is a fun thought process here. The Cavs big enough pull to get a Christmas Day game? I don't know. What are your guys' suggestions in the chat? Lakers at Mavs. Oh, do they go back to the well though? Considering how great that game was between, it's got to be Steph LeBron, doesn't it? Christmas is just going to become the Steph versus LeBron ball. That's the biggest number possible. It needs to be another East Coast game. No. Yeah. Elijah's right. It's going to be Sixers Celtics game 2. Yeah. Okay. So we have Mavs at Knicks game 1, Sixers Celtics game 2. Now we can get to the Western Conference. Houston versus San Antonio. Can't put San Antonio in the dinner spot just yet. Could it be San Antonio, Houston? Timberwolves got to be involved with Ant. Houston, Minnesota, game 3. Houston, Minnesota. Lakers, Warriors in the primetime slot. And then the nightcap is Nuggets, Spurs. Christmas Day. How about that? I think I nailed that. No, instead of Wolves Nuggets, I would do Wolves Rockets because of the KD Anthony Edwards dynamic. Wolves Nuggets doesn't have the juice amongst the mainstream that it does with the sickos because we all know about that rivalry in the double overtime game that they played. Oh wait, I forgot OKC. You're right. Sorry. Yeah, OKC's got to be in there. So OKC needs to be the game before LeBron and Steph. So who did I say? It was Rockets, Wolves. All right, so let's do this. Rockets, Thunder. Okay, you guys are right. Rockets, Thunder, game 3. Then we're going to take the Wolves, like you suggested. We'll take the Wolves and we'll have them play Denver in the late game. No one watches that game anyway. It's the 5th game of the night. It starts at like 10:30 Eastern. So Wolves, Nuggets in the nightcap. Sorry. That's why I need your help because I'm gonna miss OKC. I'm gonna forget about OKC. Mavericks at Knicks. Sixers at Celtics. Rockets at Thunder. Warriors at Lakers. Wolves at Nuggets. Boom. Boom. So who lost? Did I take the Spurs out of there? That's who got bumped? Yeah. Does Wemby have to? Is it Spurs instead of Mavs Knicks? Is it Spurs? They did that last year. That was a good game. Rockets at OKC with Durant back in OKC. That's a banger. Okay, now you're thinking like a television executive. You're right. You need to be pulling on all of the mainstream sports fans, all of those emotions. So KD back in OKC for the 1,000th time, but it still has value. But how do we get who can be subbed out for Wemby? Because you have to have Cooper Flag. So it's Mavs Knicks. It's that second game. Can we do Spurs at Sixers? No, because the Celtics are such a draw. Even if the Celtics are bad, there's people are still going to watch, and that's all they care about. It's got to be the biggest audiences possible with market sizes. That is Christmas Day. Are the Spurs out? Is Wemby out? I think Wemby might be out. I would take out Boston and put in San Antonio, but that's just not realistically going to happen. Celtics have to be there. What's up, everyone? If you're just joining us, we're trying to predict the opening night and Christmas Day schedules. Spurs at Celtics then. No Sixers? Can we chop Philly? Even though they're going to be good, can we chop Philly? Yeah, you know what? I think it's Philly who gets axed because people do not like Embiid. Philly isn't a big enough draw worldwide. You're right. Okay, can I revise one more time? Let's do this. Even though I think it's going to be Sixers Celtics, I will go with Mavs at Knicks, Spurs at Celtics, Rockets at Thunder, Warriors at Lakers, primetime, Mike Breen, and then Wolves at Nuggets. That's your Christmas Day slate. Book it. Book it. Screen record it. It will, but that's what's going to happen. I know Tatum is out, and the Celtics might not be that good, but it's still Boston. They have too much worldwide appeal. They pulled the biggest number, them and the Lakers. You have to have them in there. There you go. I'm going to tweet this out later. Get some feedback. I'll get yelled at by somebody. Oh, my package is here. Hold on. I'll be right back, people. Be right back. Stay with. Hello there. Thank you so much. You have a nice weekend. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Sorry about that. This is I had a package that I had to sign for that I've been waiting all day for. You guys are going to be very surprised as to what it is. Hold on. I can't show you the actual package because it has my does FedEx know they're on stream? I don't think they did. Free advertising. Open. Try not to rip it. I almost did rip it. You guys ready for this? Here's what's in the package. Japanese yen. Because I'm going to Japan, and I ordered cash from my bank, so I didn't have to get ripped off at the airport exchange. This is what Japanese yen look like. Pretty dollars or yen, dollar bills. That's pretty cool. I don't know who these people are, but it's very like, I don't know how much 10,000 yen is worth. It's probably like $10 or something, but sweet. We got some cash. Now you can see why the bank requires you to sign for this package. I'll be in Japan for 2 weeks, so You always got to have some cash on you just in case. You never know. I'll be bouncing around the whole country. So if my credit card doesn't work or something. So yeah, the bank, you can order cash and they FedEx it to you. It's all the technology in the world, right? You can't go to the branch and get foreign currency. You have to order it online. Am I going to Hiroshima? It's not on my docket, even though I will have some time. How far away is it from? I'll be in Tokyo. I'll be down at Kawana. I'll be in Osaka, Kyoto. Which is it closest to? 10K yen is like $70. Okay, so this is like a $70 bill. How many of those do I have? I have like 3 of these, 4 of these. Yeah, I have 4. That's it. We're on a budget. Different sizes of the bills too. The thousands are much smaller. It's close to Osaka. Okay. Do they have I mean, am I going to get nuclear radiation by going there? I'm sure there's people that there's like museums and stuff. There's people that live there now. It's worth it. It's worth taking the ferry to see the views from Mount Meissen. Oh, okay. Well, I will consider it for sure. It's not like Chernobyl. Still an active site underneath there. Make sure to have Google Translate. I have that on my phone, but I don't have an international signal, so I always have to be connected to Wi-Fi. It's the good part about being in Tokyo is there's a lot of English signs, but not when you get to the rest of the country, I imagine. Yusuf, you're appreciated, my friend. Thank you for joining us this season. Sounds like you're off to bed. It's getting late over there in Turkey, so I imagine that's 9 hours ahead of me. 6, 9, 10. Gosh, wait, 8. So it's got to be like 1 a.m. in Istanbul right now. If you love learning about World War II, you know your audience well. You'll be interested in the museum at the Memorial Park. Okay, I will visit that. Memorial, I'm going to look it up right now. How far away this is. Memorial Park. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're talking about. That's pretty cool. How far away? That is not close. You said it was close. That is far as shit. That's on the other side of the island. Bro, that is not close. To Osaka. My God. Bro, that might as well be the bottom of the mainland. Thanks for the recommendation, but I don't think I'm going to make it that far. I got golf to play. English signs in all the large cities. Oh, that's good. I imagine Kyoto as well. I'm staying in like the main region, like the castles and everything, not by the train station where there's all the new hotels and stuff. I'm actually going for authentic experience. I'll stay at the nice places in Tokyo. Staying in Shibuya. If you take the bullet train, it's fast. All right. Well, we got to start off. We got to get there in the first place, and I've got the cash to get there now. What is this eSIM you guys keep recommending? What is eSIM? I can't mess with my phone plan. I'm grandfathered into this ridiculous AT&T deal from the early 2000s, and if I change anything, it's like null and voids the deal. So I'm on a very archaic plan because I have this free internet that can never be changed. It was like a lifelong deal. But the moment that you like pause it or cancel it, they can say it's done. So I just can't change anything. How are the courses in Japan? I'll let you know. I'm playing what is considered to be the number 37 course in the world, the Fuji course at Kawana. Kawana is where Marilyn Monroe had her honeymoon. It's an older hotel that's been renovated, and that's my type of style. I like the old Victorian type places. I like your Beverly Hills Hilton or Beverly Hills Hotel type of spots, not the super like metropolitan spaceship type of places that are all new and fancy. I'm a boomer with my architecture. Yeah, honestly, I don't feel the need to have a cell phone signal in Japan because I can just get Wi-Fi when I need it. I don't need to be on my phone. I understand in the event of emergency, what do you do? But I kind of like that. I do this in Europe too. If I go to a cafe, I'll connect to the Wi-Fi. I'll catch up for an hour. But other than that, I'm not on my phone. I'm out just in the world. But you're right. Like Google Translate, you're going to need a signal for that. Well, I'll look into it. I don't want to mess with the SIM in my phone at all because it will influence my AT&T plan. And then I'm going to come in here and yell at all of you for trying to help me, and I don't want to do that. Who lives at the Roosevelt? You're talking about in Hollywood? Marilyn Monroe? When am I heading out? After the first weekend of Summer League. I'll be there in Vegas for 5 days or so and then come back here, pack my bags, and head out. Oh, you can do the Google Translate offline? No way. You can use that app offline? There's no way. I didn't know Marilyn lived at the Roosevelt. I like the Roosevelt. Good bars, nice speakeasies in that hotel. I usually don't like going to Hollywood unless it's for the Roosevelt or Desert Spot 5 or Desert 5 Spot, whatever that place is called, the country bar. Oh, it's going to be hot over there. Try me. Try me. I lived in New Orleans for 2.5 years. I know humidity. I don't know humidity living in LA. I'm a weather snob, but I was in Rome last year. It was 99 with like 80% humidity. It ain't going to be worse than that. I'll tell you that much. They have free night swim tonight at the Roosevelt. Really? They never open up that pool. If it's free, that's probably not the place you want to go. There's a reason why it's free. You get what you pay for. Tap the download icon next to Japanese in Google Translate. Okay, I will do that. Thank you. I learned something new today. That's the only reason why I need a cell phone signal. Is just to download or to translate. That's it. Other than that, like I'm not going to be doing police chases while I'm in the middle of nowhere. If I'm back at the hotel and the stars align, I will. But other than that, I'm not on the internet. I'm not one of those people that needs to be on social media all day. This is the beautiful part about being a millennial is we have this built-in gene that we can disconnect from the internet if we so choose. The only reason why I'm on it for 9 months a year is because it's for my work. Otherwise, I would be like, see ya. Are you vegan Barbie? If you're going, you'll have to report. Report back. Let me know how it goes. Maybe it's a vegan thing. There's always a catch. It's like if free night swim at the Roosevelt, but something is like it gets you in, but get a chair, it's $1,000. Something like that. Oh, you're actually going. Godspeed. Too far from me. I used an eSIM when I went to Japan. It was like $10 for unlimited data for 2 weeks. That just does not seem possible. eSIM. What is eSIM? Digital SIM card that allows you to activate a cellular plan on your device without needing a physical SIM card. It's essentially a reprogrammable chip. This does not sound like. I mean, it makes sense for you guys, but I'm telling you, I cannot mess with this plan. They are looking for every reason to any reason to cancel my grandfather didn't plan. And the moment they can, it's like, oh, you violated the terms. You have to get the new one. It's not even that it's cheap, but I have free unlimited internet, high speed for the rest of my life at this like locked in rate that I just don't want to mess with. So I'll just deal with the Wi-Fi. I will be in Shibuya. It gets super crowded, and Shibuya Station is a nightmare to get through, but there's good food nearby. You're talking to a New Yorker here. It can't be worse than that. Can't be worse than that subway system. Oh, so it's going to be one of those things you just show up and see who's there, vegan Barbie. Let's see who's there. Something tells me it's not going to mess with it, guys. You can keep offering recommendations, but I just can't mess with it. I'd rather just use the Wi-Fi. Keep my phone in airplane mode the whole time. It's fun getting lost, especially when you can't read the language on the signs. Even more fun. I have practiced a little bit of Japanese. Konnichiwa, sumimasen, doka wa train, toilet, all the, excuse me, where is the essentials? How do you say toilet? I think it's just toilette or something. My Japanese friend was telling me there's a lot of train. It's just tren. Just say tren. Maybe he was fucking with me. Well, I'm learning all of these things. I'm learning all these things from the chat that I need to download some maps. I'm going to do that. I know you can download maps through, is it Google or Apple? Google Translate and Maps. The hack is to download Google Translate and Maps offline. Okay, then I can do that. Yeah, I was told by someone speaks Japanese, just say tren. I'm like, okay, it can't be that simple. All right. Well, I will take care of that. I appreciate the advice. On that note, my friends, we're well over our time. Someone's now asking me about the Sixers. This is my cue to sign off for the season. It has been a pleasure every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday doing live Q&A with you all. I will be back in October, first, whatever the Monday, Wednesday, Friday of October is once the season gets going. That will be my return to the live streams here on Twitter. But if I survive Japan and another 2 weeks in Europe, then I will be back. It has been a pleasure. It's like after a golf match, take your hat off and shake hands, tip your hat a little bit. Tipping my hat to you all for joining us throughout the entirety of the postseason and beyond. It's your boy, Rob Perez, Worldwide Wob. I'll be back if there's police chase and whatnot. But until then, so long for now. I'll see you guys on the timeline. Deuces.